What's up, everybody? Welcome to Sid's Little Corner of the Internet. Today, we're going to be taking a look at the Transformers Kingdom, War for Cybertron, Inferno. So first things first, like we always do here, let's go ahead and take a look at that packaging. We'll move Inferno out of the way, bring that box up close, straighten that up. So there you go. So you have Inferno, Transformers Kingdom, War for Cybertron. Got the art on the side. On the back, you have your product shots, 17 steps, Inferno on the side, ever popular, Sad Baby on there. And then we'll take that 3/4 look at the box so we can look at that artwork, which is absolutely fantastic. I really like this artwork on this one as well. Inferno is looking really good right there. Really cool. All right, up the top, for Cybertron, K19, the 19th figure in the Kingdom line. And the bottom, you have all your warnings and all your legalese. All right, now let's take a look at what came in the package. We'll start, as we always do, with the insert. Again, nothing fancy about this, but wanted to show this to you. You get your ever popular warnings in multiple languages. You get the instructions. As I've said in every Kingdom review, they're doing a great job on these instructions. Not much more to say about that. And then, guys, check this out. I'm actually really excited. Of course, as you know, you get a card in every Kingdom. I think it's deluxe size and above. You don't get them in the core size, the Kingdom core figures. But you do get a card in all of these. And finally, guys, I got a different one. Check this out. The Ark. Now, this confirms some of my suspicions that the rumors that I've been hearing that the Ark is actually going to be a Titan-class figure along the lines of a Scorponok or Fortress Maximus, Metroplex, that kind of stuff. So this is not only cool because it's a card that I didn't have, but also cool because I really feel like my suspicions are being confirmed here. So really, really excited about that. All right, so let's bring Inferno in front and center and take a look at this guy. I'm going to tell you right now, I love this figure. I love the mold for him and for his mold mate Grapple. I've heard people say that they're mini masterpieces, particularly with the Grapple because he was out before Inferno, and I agree with that. Of course, there are always things that you can improve, but for the money that you're paying for this guy or for the Grapple mold, holy smokes. I mean, there's not much more that you can say about this. So let's bring him in for a close-up and take a look at all the detail that he has. So I don't have to put my hand back there. We're getting pretty good contrast right now. So take a look at that head sculpt. The paint apps in there are great. Come down to his chest. And these guys are based, the Inferno and Grapple G1 are based on a Mitsubishi Fuso truck. And I think they've really captured here in the front, they've really captured that look. These just look great. Come down to the waist and the crotch. Good molded in detail there. Same thing with the thighs. He could have benefited from some additional paint apps down here, but I'm not going to complain too much. Again, the molded in detail is great, and for the money that you're paying for this guy, there's not much else that you could ask for. So there's the front of the arms. Let's take a look at the side. So you do have this nozzle here. This nozzle is removable, so let's go ahead and take that out of the way now so you can see him without it. Put that off to the side. Forearm has good detail in it. The legs. Again, these are, much like the nozzle, these are removable, but I'm not going to remove them. You really, for transformation, all you have to do is rotate them. I'll take them off so you can see that it's just a 5mm port. But I'm going to go ahead and pop that right back on because there's really no need to take those off. And then Look at the detail on those tires. The hubs, if they would have been painted silver, I think that would have made those pop a little bit more, but the tire tread, the rims, everything in there, that all looks really, really nice. You even get some detail on the ladder back here. And then from the back, still a really good looking figure even from the back. So nice big heel spurs back here, so that helps with the posing. And the right hand side is the same as the left hand side. Yeah, so overall, this guy's got a really, really good look to him and a really strong presence on the shelf. He looks very, I mean, G1 Inferno. This guy, I know I'm fawning over him, and I apologize for that, but he's really cool. He's just a fantastic figure. So let's talk about the articulation, and I'm gonna go ahead and take well, I guess I should talk about the accessories first, but I'm going to talk about articulation first, and then we'll talk about the accessories. So first, you don't get any side to side or up and down with the head. It's just it's fixed in there on that, what I assume is a mushroom peg, but you do get a full 360. So you can bring that all the way around. And you do, for his wings, his head wings, whatever you want to call them, you can angle these however you like. And for transformation, they fold completely back anyway. But I kind of like this look. I think it gives him a little more streamlined look. And the other added benefit is if you have the wings completely out like that, you notice that you barely have clearance for the wings to the posts on the shoulders. And if I raise those shoulders up a little bit, raise those arms up a little bit like that, now I'm getting interference. So if I just angle those wings back, it just helps me clear those anyway. So that being said, for the shoulders, you do get a full 360. You do get bicep rotation. You get just over 90 on the elbow. You get wrist swivel, due primarily to transformation, but you can utilize that for posing as well. You do get waist rotation. He does the complete splits. He will do a full Van Damme for you. Legs kick out that far. They kick back that far. Make sure you clear that ladder. But he can definitely do a full gymnast there. You get thigh rotation. You get 90 degrees at the knee. And then for the feet, the way they have them, these feet designed, I can't say enough good things about them. You have the ability, if you want to separate that a little bit, that you can move that foot back. You can also bring that foot forward. And these are tight enough that this is going to support his weight. So if you want to do some really interesting poses with this guy, you can do it, and you can get away with it with these joints on these feet. So good range of motion, front and back and up and down on the feet. And then of course you get extreme ankle tilt, almost a full 90 degrees of ankle tilt on there. So the posability of this guy is on par with some of the best figures out there. This is really a really well done figure. So let's talk about his accessories, of which he does come with a few. We'll start with the rifle. Now, for those of you who have Grapple from Earthrise, you'll recognize this. This is the exact same mold. They didn't change anything at all on this rifle. It has a good aesthetic, but it's no different. He also comes with this nozzle that we saw on the side of his head. Additionally, he has the nozzle that you can remove from his hand. Has good chrome paint on it. And as we discussed earlier, he has his hoses. So overall, this guy's got a good amount of accessories that come with him, really lends to the playability. Now, let's go ahead and we'll get him transformed into his fire truck mode. We're going to have a little bit of fun with effects in the fire truck mode, bring him back to his robot mode, have even more fun with effects in there, and then we'll do some comparisons. So transformation on this guy is pretty easy. Again, I'm very impressed by the engineering done here. You'll recognize, for those of you who have or had the G1 Inferno, the G1 Grapple, you'll notice a lot of similarities here. They've just been modernized for these figures. So if you haven't already done so, you're going to want to flip his wrists, or flip his fists in. So for this one, just flip that around. All right, and then we'll work with these arms a little bit later, but for now I'm just going to do this to get them out of the way. And then you can, right here, I'm trying to get a good view here, you're just going to gently pull that head, and you're going to separate it right there, and that's going to un-accordion all of this back here. So bring that out as such, and then right here you're going to pull out of the cab and bring this down. When you do that, now you have this accordion section here. You're just going to take his head, you're going to flip that 180 degrees so you cover it up, and then if you want, you can go ahead and just pull this out until it clicks. And we're going to turn our attention down here to the feet. Going to pull those out, and all you're going to do is rotate those so you're like that. We're going to do that on both sides. Pull those out, rotate it down, and now what that's going to allow you to do is you're going to start straightening this out, and then you're going to notice that you have two holes here. They're going to line up to these two pegs on this section. It's going to help you secure all that. You also have these slots. Sorry. You have these slots right. Well, his feet keep getting in the way. Let me bend this back up. You have these slots right here that are going to align to these tabs right there. All right, so bring that down. Straighten all that out. And then you're going to come back here. You're going to tab in both of those posts. Squeeze everything together. If you want, you can move this ladder out of the way now. That's going to free up all this room right here for your next step. So at this point, you should have something that looks like that. Then you're just going to flip this cab up. This is actually on the hub of this wheel. That's actually your axis of rotation. So you're just going to flip that cab up. And now what you can do is you're going to bring these arms in. And you'll notice that you have two pegs right here. And you have the corresponding holes. Excuse me. You have the corresponding holes for those right here. I pointed at the wrong thing. Do not use these. Use those. So take your arms, now that you're oriented like this, turn them 90 degrees, and then the shoulders will disconnect right there, and then you're just going to swing this entire thing around. It's easier actually if you pull that cab back up just a little bit. Swing those arms around, collapse that in, do the same thing on this side. Collapse those in, and then you have a tab and slot system right here. Align those up, squeeze those together. Now you can bring this cab down, and you're going to align those holes with those pegs, squeeze those together. At this point, you're just going to want to rotate this around 180 degrees. You can extend that ladder if you want to. Then the last thing we need to do, two last things we need to do. we need to turn these 90 degrees so they're oriented as such. Do the same thing on this side. And then for these head wings, just squeeze those together so they're flush on the sides of the truck. Excuse me. And now you have Inferno in his pretty good looking fire truck mode. I think that looks really nice. Now, in fire truck mode, you do have accessories and weapon storage / utilization. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. So first we'll start with this nozzle. This was the one that was on the side of his head. Now, you can do a couple things with this nozzle. You can place it on this peg right here as such, but I don't like to put it there because per the instructions for weapon storage, you're going to put the rifle right here. And I think that the rifle covers that up. So I don't like to put it there. What I like to do is I like to put it... You know what? I have this oriented wrong. I'm sorry, guys. You need to bring that 180 degrees and then bring this up. I apologize for that. Now, going back to this, what I like to do with this nozzle, instead of putting it over here, I like to put it right there. I think that just lends a better look. You can do stuff like that with it. So my personal preference is I like to have it right there on the end of the ladder. So bringing the rifle back in, you can put the rifle right in this port right here. And then for the nozzle that was on the end of his arm, there is a tab right there. And you're just going to line that up, place that on there. I'm going to set him down because this takes a little bit of dexterity. And then you just put that nozzle right there. So really not that bad as far as weapons / accessories storage and utilization. I think that works out pretty well. So while we have him in this mode, I do want to show off one of the other things that I really love about this figure, and that is he has an intense amount of effects usage. So these just add such a level of playability to this line of figures. I really, really enjoy it. So for those who don't know, with the leader class Jetfire, or excuse me, the commander class Jetfire, and with the commander class Skylynx, and with the Titan class Omega Supreme, Hasbro included effects parts. I do not have the Omega Supreme, but I do have the Skylynx and the Jetfire, so I have a plethora of effects that I can use, and we're going to use them because I want to show this off. It's really fun. Now, in fire truck mode, he doesn't have quite as many as he does in robot mode, but I'm going to show you just what you can do with this guy. So he has, I'm just going to use this one effect here, he has a peg right here on this arm that you can plug in. He has a peg right here on the front of the cab that you can plug in. He has, of course, now I'm going to raise this up so I can get a little bit of an angle here. He has, of course, this nozzle. So set him down, plug that in. He has this nozzle up here. And then he has a few ports elsewhere. You can, when the ladder's raised, you can utilize these ports. So if you wanted to make it look like he's shooting up some flames there, it's a bit of a tight squeeze, so you may want to just do that one at a time, or maybe use these more narrow effects. So I'll take that one out for now, and I'll just use a big one. That way it looks like he's getting hit. And then of course he has a post back here, so make him look like he's getting hit there as well. Oh, that one fell off. It is a very tiny peg. And then on this side, of course, if you want, you could angle his rifle up, and you could give his rifle some effects as well. And then you have this port down here that you could utilize. So, and you have that port on the other side too. I just kind of covered it up. But yeah, I mean, you can have quite the effects party with Inferno. This is a blast. I'm telling you, this just adds so much fun and playability to this guy. I love it. Vehicle mode, robot mode, both of them. It's just a blast. No pun intended. So, now that I've taken the time to play, I'll go ahead and remove all this stuff and we'll get him transformed back up to robot mode. Talk about effects in robot mode, do our comparisons, and give you a final verdict as if you're watching this right now, as if you need to hear what my final verdict is. But so, transforming him back to robot mode, just as easy as getting him to truck mode. So the first thing you want to do is go ahead and remove all the accessories and the weapons. You can take that nozzle off, put that off to the side, take this nozzle off, put it off to the side, take this rifle off, put it off to the side, collapse his ladder. Go ahead and tilt these 90 degrees now. Take this ladder, rotate it 180 degrees so it's facing backwards. And now you're at a position where you can take the arms and pull them up off those pegs. And then that's going to rotate this entire cab section just like before. Split these, swing them out, squeeze them in, take the arms down, rotate the arms, rotate the arms, of course bend at the elbow, and now we can turn our attention to this portion and take these pegs, pull them out. That's going to allow us to bring this subassembly up, and we'll begin the accordion effect. Let's bring that up, bring this down, bring that up, and then you're going to turn the head 180 degrees, and then right here you're just going to tab this in, squeeze it in so it's fit securely. You have another tab and a slot tab and a slot back there. So you're going to squeeze those in and then gently push down on the head. That'll lock it into place. Back here for the ladder, just go ahead and break this. Don't literally break it, but just break that loose and fold that down. Come down here to the feet. Just simply twist those, push them into place. Do the same thing on the other side. Twist them, push them into place. Pull out his wings. And you can, your choice, flip out both fists, flip out one fist, flip out none of them. It's really up to you. But flip out a fist. And then you have Inferno back in his robot mode. So pretty easy, pretty straightforward, a really enjoyable transformation. So let's get his accessories on him so we can talk about the effects on this, because the effects on robot mode are just next level. It gets to a point of being absolutely ridiculous, but in a fun way. So let's go ahead and give him his rifle. We'll put his nozzle on the side of his head. We'll take the other nozzle and we will put that on his right arm. And I am going to just angle those back a little bit because I like the look of that. Now, I have a mountain of effects that we're going to use, and we're going to take all these and put them on this guy. So let's have a little bit of fun. So we can just start plugging those in. He's got one in the nozzle there. He's got one in this nozzle. He can have, let's do one of these for his rifle. we can do, he's got that small peg right there, so let's do an impact. Let's try to find a decent one. That was a little too big, I think. We can try it. We'll throw one right there. So he's being shot, and double whammy. He's getting shot there as well. And oh no, it's a different kind of ordnance, but he's being shot there. He's getting hit up here. Uh-oh, he lost the one off of his rifle. Admittedly, that is a very narrow tip on that rifle, so that may fall off again. I may have to put that back on. And then down here, put that in the range of view. He's getting, foot rockets if you want to do that. He can blast off right there, so doing some crazy action with that. And then same thing on the other side over here. He's getting hit. Move that out of the way. He's getting a big one right here in the forearm. That's gotta hurt. Getting another one there. Getting hit down here in his foot. He has something coming out of his chest right there. Who knows? That looks painful and awful. Got one right here. And I'm missing, yeah, I knew I was missing one. There's one in his leg. So, I mean, look at that. That is, I love that. That is so much fun. I mean, this guy has so many points on his body where you can put these blast effects. It's just so much fun. It makes me smile from ear to ear. I really enjoy that. I almost have more points on his body than I have blast effects to put. So, I do, because I missed one. There's another one down here. So let's go ahead and take that off of his gun. And just put that right there on his foot. So, yeah, there you go, guys. I mean, this poor guy, he's just getting destroyed. This is great. But I digress. I'm sitting here playing. I'm having too much fun with this guy. This is just such a cool figure. Just so much fun to be had with this guy. So now let's take all these effects parts off and start doing some comparisons. So take these, move them off of there. Take that off of his chest, start taking them off of his forearms. I think in total, if you weren't counting at home, I think I had 16 pieces on him. Office Space reference, 16 pieces of flare. So we'll take those off, and I think he's still got one on the back. Yep. All right, now he is effect free. Now we can do the comparisons. So let's start with the obvious one. We will bring in his mold mate, which is Grapple. And you can see, I mean, for all intents and purposes, they're identical. The only difference is going to be, some minor changes here in the maybe here in the sculpt. Obviously, Grapple does not have any head wings. The face sculpt, head sculpt is different. Grapple did not come with the hoses, but he does have the port for them. And then on the back, of course, Grapple has the crane mechanism. Inferno has the ladder. Transformation is identical. The engineering for transformation is identical. It's just some mold differences. Okay. Now, next we will bring in... I'll tell you now, I'm limited on my Infernos. I do not have my G1 Inferno anymore. Something happened to him. He got lost in the shuffle over the years. I'm not entirely sure. So I don't have a G1 that I can bring in for a comparison. So apologies for that. But what I do have is a Power of the Primes Inferno. Bring him in for a comparison. And yeah, all day long, Yeah, definitely, yes. I do not have the G1 Inferno, but I do have Masterpiece Inferno. And I know that it's not necessarily a fair comparison. You're bringing a Masterpiece in against a mainline figure that costs, a fraction of what the Masterpiece does. But I still think that he holds up well against the Masterpiece. He's a solid figure. He has good articulation. He has a lot of playability. The Masterpiece, I mean, of course, looks toon accurate. You wouldn't expect anything less from a Masterpiece, but I still think he does a really good job here. I'm gonna say he is many things, and he can hold his own against the Masterpiece. So turn him to the side. Now, from an engineering point of view, I mean, the one place where the Masterpiece just absolutely kills this guy is just the voodoo that they used to collapse the ladder into the body for the Masterpiece. So everything else doesn't look too bad, but when you see this Inferno against the Masterpiece, you see this ladder dangling in the back. But hey, price, engineering limitations, not taken away from the mainline toy at all. All right, now we'll move Masterpiece Inferno out of the way. And what we'll do is we'll start bringing in the Kingdom compatriots, the Wave Mates. And this is going to start to be a really crowded family photo here because we have more than a few now. So let's go ahead and start with the big guys in the back. We'll bring in Barney. And well, I'll put him beside Inferno to begin with so you can see the size comparison there. Put him back there. Next we'll bring in Cyclonus. Those two look pretty good together. That's such a good look. These are two fantastic figures. So just absolutely great. We'll bring in Dinobot. Put him over here. Next we'll bring in Optimus Primal. Next we can bring in Black Arachnia. I'm going to go ahead and move Inferno back at this point. Your spinning battle shield is getting in the way here. So I'll bring Black Arachnia and I'll bring her over here. Next we'll bring in Cheetor. So you can see Inferno's got a significant size advantage on Cheetor. Bring in Warpath. And then we'll get to the core guys. We'll bring in Rat Trap. And we'll bring in Core Prime. Yeah, that's a good family photo right there. Straighten you out a little bit. Yeah, that looks really cool. So, my final verdict on Inferno, if you haven't figured it out already, this guy is amazing. For what you get for the money, the playability, the articulation, the accuracy, the engineering, this guy's a must-have. He is a must-have. I'm putting him above all of these except for Cyclonus. Cyclonus still takes the cake, but Inferno is an amazing figure for the price. He's a lot of fun. Now, I may have some of my own bias because I prefer the vehicles and the machines to robots versus the creatures to robots, but truth be told, I think Dinobot's great. I really do. I just think that everything that Inferno brings to the table for the price, from a playability standpoint, he's got it in spades. This is a great figure. Highly recommended. I would even go so far as to say that if I needed to pick him up online and pay, you know, maybe a 20% premium, I would be okay with that because of what you get with this figure. It's not out of the realm of possibility to say, you know, to use the phrase mini masterpiece. This guy's fun. Other than that ladder on the back, everything transforms and tucks away really well. It's a good looking figure. I can't say enough good things about it. So, with that being said, I'm just going to stop my gushing and we'll wrap this up. So, all that being said, guys, I can't thank you enough. I appreciate you tuning in. As I've said before, I do this for the love. I don't do it for anything else. So, I very much appreciate the comments. If you can give us a like, give us a subscribe on YouTube, give us a Rumble, give us a subscribe on rumble.com or the Rumble app. Leave us some comments. Let us know what you want to see. Let us know what we could be doing better. All that is greatly appreciated. I just love talking about these guys. With that being said, thank you guys very much for tuning in. We'll see you next time. Talk soon.